My sister, if you value your peace of mind, don't get married.
If you value your peace, don't get married. Those were the words Amara repeated whenever the topic of marriage came up. It didn't matter who it was, a cousin, an excited friend, a colleague planning a wedding. Her answer was always the same: marriage is beautiful only on the wedding day. After that, it becomes a prison. She spoke with certainty, with experience, and because of that, people listened. After all, she had been married before. If anyone knew the truth, it was her. Her friends trusted her words. Some even ended relationships because of them. Others postponed weddings, unsure of their future. Only one person refused to be influenced: Nadia. But before Nadia challenged her, there was something no one knew, a truth buried so deep, even Amara herself had started to forget it years earlier. Amara had been different, very different. At 23, she had everything she believed life should offer: a degree, a job, and most importantly, love. She was engaged to Daniel, the man she believed was meant for her. Daniel wasn't rich, he wasn't flashy, but he was calm, steady, safe. He listened more than he spoke, and when he loved quietly. When he proposed, Amara didn't even hesitate. She said yes, immediately, before he even finished the question. The families were overjoyed. The wedding preparations filled every week: dress fittings, venue visits, cake tastings, endless conversations. Amara loved every second of it. Sometimes she would stand in front of the mirror in her unfinished wedding dress, just staring, smiling. "I can't believe this is really happening," she whispered once. Her sister laughed from the doorway. "You've been standing there for 10 minutes. "I know," Amara replied softly. "I'm just imagining it." "Imagining what?" "Daniel's face when he sees me walking down the aisle." Her sister smiled. "You really love him." Amara didn't even hesitate. "With everything in me." The wedding day came. Finally, the church was full. Color everywhere, music everywhere, life everywhere. Cameras clicked endlessly. Children ran between chairs laughing. And then, silence. The doors opened. Amara stepped in, on her father's arm, and everything stopped. She looked like a dream. Daniel saw her, and his eyes filled instantly. Tears, smiles, shock, love, all at once. People would later say they had never seen two people so sure, so certain that this was forever. At the reception, speeches filled the air. "These two are perfect together. They will grow old together. They are meant to be." Amara believed every word. That night, as they drove away, she rested her head on Daniel's shoulder. "We finally made it." He kissed her forehead gently. "This is just the beginning." The first year was beautiful, not perfect, but beautiful. They rented a small apartment, nothing fancy, but it was theirs. They painted the walls together, argued about furniture placement, burned dinner, and laughed about it. Money was tight, but love was not. Some evenings, they sat on a small balcony with tea in their hands, dreaming. "We'll have 2 children," Amara said. Daniel smiled. "3. No, 2. 3. She laughed and pushed him lightly. "You always want to win." He smiled back. "No, I just want noise in the house." Those moments stayed with her. They meant everything. Friends used to visit. They always left smiling. "I hope my marriage is like yours," one friend said once. Amara smiled proudly. "So do I." But life does not warn you, not properly. Sometimes it starts with small things, too small to notice. A forgotten apology, a sharp word, a silence that lasts too long, a pride that refuses to bend. At first, they ignored it, both of them. They thought love was enough, but it wasn't. And slowly, without either of them realizing, something began to break, not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly and permanently. And by the time they finally noticed, love was no longer enough to fix it. The first signs were easy to ignore, too easy. That was the problem. Nothing happened overnight. There was no betrayal, no dramatic scandal, no shocking secret, just little things, tiny things, the kind of things most couples experience every day. And because they seemed small, neither Amara nor Daniel paid much attention to them. At first, one evening, Daniel arrived home later than usual. Amara had spent nearly 2 hours preparing dinner. She had cooked his favorite meal, set the table, even lit a small candle, not because it was a special occasion, but because she wanted to make an ordinary day feel special. She checked the clock, then checked it again, and again. The food was getting cold. Her excitement slowly faded. When Daniel finally walked through the door, he looked exhausted. His shirt was wrinkled. His face carried the weight of a difficult day. "I'm sorry," he said. "Work kept me longer than I expected." Amara folded her arms. "You could have called." Daniel sighed. "I know. You always know." "What does that mean?" "It means this isn't the first time." Daniel rubbed his forehead. "Can we not do this tonight?" That answer irritated her. "Do what?" "Argue." "I'm not arguing." "Amara, I'm simply telling you how I feel." Daniel remained silent, and somehow, his silence made everything worse. That night, they slept facing opposite directions, not because they hated each other, not because they wanted to hurt each other, but because neither wanted to be the first to apologize. The next morning, life continued. The argument disappeared, at least on the surface, but something remained underneath, something neither of them addressed. Weeks passed, then months, and little disagreements started becoming more frequent, more common, more familiar. Daniel believed Amara spent too much money. Amara believed Daniel worried too much about money. Daniel thought Amara expected perfection. Amara thought Daniel wasn't putting enough effort into their marriage. Neither was completely wrong. Neither was completely right. But neither knew how to communicate their frustrations without hurting the other. One Saturday afternoon, Amara visited her mother. As usual, the conversation eventually turned to marriage. "How is Daniel?" Her mother asked. "He's fine." The answer came too quickly. Her mother noticed. "Is everything all right?" Amara hesitated. Then she began talking. At first, she only mentioned small complaints, but the longer she spoke, the more complaints appeared. Soon she was describing every flaw, every annoyance, every frustration. Her mother listened carefully, then said something that stayed with Amara. "You must be careful." "Careful about what? Don't build a mountain out of a stone." Amara frowned. "What does that mean?" "It means every marriage has problems, but no marriage survives if people spend all their time counting each other's mistakes." Amara didn't respond because deep down, she didn't believe her mother understood. At the same time, Daniel was having similar conversations with friends, with co-workers, sometimes with his older brother. And every conversation followed the same pattern. Daniel would share frustrations. People would take his side, and he would return home feeling justified. More justified than before. The result? Neither spouse was learning how to understand the other. They were only learning how to defend themselves. Then came the promotion that changed everything. Daniel had worked for years hoping for an opportunity like this. Better salary, more responsibility, greater opportunity. He was thrilled. Amara was happy too, at least initially, but the promotion came with a price. Longer hours, more meetings, more pressure, less time at home, far less time. Days became weeks, weeks became months, and Daniel seemed constantly busy. Sometimes he left before sunrise, sometimes he returned after dark, many nights. He arrived home too tired to talk, too tired to laugh, too tired to listen. Amara understood at first. She really did. But understanding slowly turned into loneliness, and loneliness slowly turned into resentment. One evening, she sat alone at the dinner table. Again, the food growing cold. Again, the clock moving slowly. Again, her phone finally rang. It was Daniel. "I'm sorry." The word sounded familiar now. Too familiar. "I won't make it." Something inside her snapped. "You never make it." There was silence. Then Daniel spoke softly. "I'm doing this for us." "No," Amara replied. "You're doing it for your career." The words hit harder than she intended. She knew it immediately, but pride wouldn't let her take them back. Daniel remained quiet, then ended the call. When he came home that night, they barely spoke, and for the first time, the apartment felt less like a home and more like a place where two strangers happened to live. The following year brought new challenges, unexpected expenses, family obligations, financial pressure, stress, lots of stress, the kind that quietly drains people, the kind that changes how they speak, how they think, how they love. One night, Daniel suggested creating a stricter budget. Amara disagreed. The discussion quickly became an argument. The argument quickly became something worse. "You don't understand the pressure," Daniel said. Amara stared at him. "What did you just say?" "I said you don't understand pressure." Her eyes widened. "You think I don't contribute?" "That's not what I meant." "But that's what you said." "No." "Yes." "No." "Yes." The conversation spiraled faster, faster, and faster until neither remembered what they were actually fighting about, only that they were fighting. That became a pattern, a dangerous pattern. Arguments stopped being about solutions. They became about winning, about proving who was right, about exposing who was wrong, and every victory left both of them defeated. Months later, something happened that neither would forget. Their wedding anniversary arrived, 3 years together, a day that should have been joyful, a day that should have reminded them why they fell in love. Instead, it became another disappointment. Amara spent days planning. She booked restaurants, bought a gift, even wrote Daniel a heartfelt letter. A letter she never got to give him, because on the day of their anniversary, Daniel forgot completely. Not intentionally, not maliciously, he simply forgot. Work consumed him. Deadlines, meetings, responsibilities. He remembered only after seeing the date on his phone late that evening. His stomach dropped immediately. He called Amara again and again and again. No answer. When he finally reached home, the apartment was dark. The gift sat untouched on the table. Beside it, the letter, still unopened. Daniel picked it up, read the first few lines, and felt something break inside him. Amara was sitting on the balcony, silent, staring into the darkness. Daniel approached carefully. "I'm sorry." No response. Amara, still nothing. "I made a mistake." She finally looked at him. Tears filled her eyes, but her voice remained calm, dangerously calm. "You forgot." "I know. You forgot the day we promised each other forever." Daniel lowered his head. "I know. You forgot us." "No." "Yes. No." His voice cracked. I never forgot us. Amara laughed bitterly, a laugh filled with pain. Then why does it feel like I'm married to a ghost?
If you like our story, please stay tuned for part 2. For the meantime, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel for more stories.